welcome back to Morning Coffee. Thanks so much for joining me for another video on organization, productivity, personal growth, and goal setting. I almost forgot what I talk about. It's fine. I have coffee. I'll be fine here in a minute. Today we are talking all about decluttering your house for spring. I don't know about you and where you live, but here this week in Wisconsin, it actually got up to like 60 degrees. If you're not from the Midwest, you may not understand this, but that means really, really warm, especially for March. So with all the good weather and it's been warm and rainy, it just has me feeling like I am ready for spring. As you know, in the spring is when people always have that motivation to really declutter, deep clean their houses, get everything ready and organized for a busy spring and summer ahead. And I am feeling that at the moment. So I thought I'd share with you some tips and ideas and rules for decluttering so you can get a head start on getting your house all ready for spring cleaning. Let's start by talking about a couple of reasons why you might want to consider decluttering. First of all, it does really improve the way that your space looks and functions. I'm a big believer that the order and organization in the spaces around us and how it affects the organization and the mental clutter that we feel. I think sometimes having tons of clutter around you spatially makes you feel that way too in your mind. And so I think that's one big reason you could consider decluttering is that clean up your space, clean up your mind. It's a beautiful way to have a fresh start. Maybe you're getting ready to move. Maybe you're getting ready to have a big party. Maybe you're gonna have a rummage sale or your sister's gonna have a rummage sale and you're like, you know what, I could make some money off of this stuff. Maybe you're going through a life transition. All of your kids are now out of the house. Maybe all of your children are now out of diapers and toddler stage, and so you can get rid of a ton of toys or something like that. Maybe you're switching professions and working for yourself, and so you need to kind of clear some stuff out so that you can have an office space. There's so many reasons why decluttering your home can be helpful, but I think at the heart in each of every one of them is that we spend so much time in our homes. We spend so much time here. It should be the place where you feel the most happy and the most comfortable. And taking care to make sure that the items that are around you are useful and helpful is a huge part of making sure that those spaces really do feel like rest when you come home and not more stress. You know how that one phrase is more money, more problems? Sometimes it's more stuff, more stress, right? So taking the opportunity here before the weather gets nice and you're going to want to be spending time outside to really think through all the items that you have in your home is totally going to help you feel much lighter and happier when you're around your home. What places in your home should you consider decluttering? The answer to that question, the simple answer, is pretty much everywhere. But what I might suggest is if you are thinking about your house, what are the areas that tend to give you the most issues? What is the one area that never seems to be clean? What's the one area that you just can't ever seem to find things? What is one area that everything is completely disorganized always? So for me, actually, when I think about that, our basement is pretty unorganized. So we have an unfinished part in our basement. When we moved in, we just kind of put everything that we didn't have a need for in that very moment down there. And then as we unpacked, we did the same thing. When we found things we didn't need, we just put it down there. And there's no shelving system or organization system down there. So for me, spring cleaning is going to start with figuring out what to do in that basement. So think about areas in your home that are problem spots, areas in your home that you use a lot. Those are going to be good places to start. You'll feel more motivated to do it if you're actually working on spaces that are going to have an impact on the way that you live on a regular basis. Let's talk about some of the reasons that we tend to hang on to things even though we aren't using them. A lot of times it comes with guilt, getting rid of something that you feel guilty about. Somebody gave it to you as a gift and you worry that if they don't see you wearing it or have it in your home, that they're going to be upset that you didn't like it or didn't tell them that you didn't like it. And so you feel the need to keep it around just in case they notice and ask where it is. Next, it might be an item that you actually purchased yourself and have it used, and you feel guilty about that. You're like, I can't believe I spent money on this. Maybe it was expensive, maybe it wasn't. But either way, you're like, I spent money on this. I want to make sure that I'm actually getting the value out of it. So I'm going to keep it, because getting rid of it would break my heart. You know, that shirt still has a tag on it. I only used one of those pack of 6 candles and I really didn't like it. And now I don't know what to do with it. So there's a lot of guilt that comes with getting rid of something. Item that you are considering getting rid of might be sentimental to you in some way. It was an outfit that you wore on a really special occasion, or it was a piece of wall art that you got from your husband the first couple years you were dating and you thought it was super sweet. All of those things. So sometimes we attach memories to items, and those are the reasons that we feel guilty for getting rid of them. Having guilt about getting rid of something is completely normal, and it's something that we all feel. And at the end of the day, you have to kind of detach the guilt from the item and say, you know what? I'm actually just working on having only the things I love and use around me. And I actually feel guilty that I am taking up space in my home with things I don't love and use. Someone else out there might be able to use this item more. I could give this item to someone who is in bigger need of it, and then I don't have to feel guilty for having it here sitting around not serving a purpose. If you flip the guilt around, you can reframe it for yourself so you feel a little bit more comfortable taking it somewhere else where it can be better used than where you are. Here is a quick and simple tip that you can use, a strategy you can utilize to get some decluttering done. Instead of tackling everything at once, give yourself a very limited time and simple assignment. For example, today I am going to take this HelloFresh box and fill it with things that I can declutter. I'm going to start here in my kitchen. I'll wander around to some other places in the house and grab whatever comes to my mind. Make it quick, make it easy, make it simple. Declutter things you no longer need. Another quick tip that I have is just leave a box, temporarily of course. This is the entryway from the garage. And so this morning my husband was cleaning out some coffee mugs and he was like, I don't need these. So I just grabbed another box, put them in there, leaving it here in the hallway as a reminder to me as I go through the house that I can declutter other things as well. And then once the box is full, it's going to get put in my car and taken to the donation store near my work. When you start to make a plan for where your items are going to go after you declutter them, don't forget to think outside the box a little bit. I don't know about you, but for me, I feel like taking it to Goodwill is just kind of the first thing that pops into my brain when I think of where to take an item. But there are so many more options available to you. So maybe think about friends or family that might enjoy the item. If you have a bunch of kids' clothes to get rid of, you might know someone who just had a baby and is trying to get everything that they need for the baby, and that might be a big help to them. Consider your friends and family, your coworkers, just people that you know that might be able to put that item to use right away. Also consider places like shelters and recovery centers. So when a couple years ago, many years ago, I worked at Bath & Body Works. And so I ended up collecting this huge stash of Bath & Body products, obviously, shower gels, lotions, that kind of thing. And a couple years ago, decided to kind of declutter and get rid of a good amount of that stuff. And I actually found a women's shelter in the town that I was living that was looking for those kinds of items. When women and children come to that shelter to start over in a safe place, they often don't bring much with them. So, those little extra shampoo bottles and toothbrushes and toothpaste and, shampoo, conditioner, all those kinds of things, body wash, you name it, they don't usually bring with them. So I was able to take all of that stuff and give it to the shelter. Actually was able to take those items and give them a new purpose to help somebody else start over when they're just in need of a little help at the time. I don't know about you, but actually around my community, there are clothing and shoe donation boxes. So I believe the Salvation Army has a couple, and I don't remember the brands or the company names on them. But in my community, I've seen several like common locations where there are boxes just for clothes and shoes. And so that is another place that you can take those items so that they can be given to someone who can put them to really great use. Don't just think that you have one place or one option of where to take things. Sometimes broadening your mind and broadening your search a little bit might help you come up with some other places where you can take things and they can get used by someone who is going to love and appreciate them. And again, don't forget to get rid of your items that you've decided to declutter as soon as possible. I talked about this in my tips to make your life easier video, but once you've decided to declutter something, put it in a bag, put it in a box, put it in your car. So that A, it's away from your sight and you're not going to be tempted to put it back into your closet or back into your home. And two, then the next time that you're out and you're next to Goodwill or next to your thrift store or donation center, then you can just drop it off while you're there instead of like running to the grocery store, passing Goodwill and going, dang it, I totally have stuff to donate at home. So that is my very last tip for you. Get it out of your sight quickly and put it in your car so that you can take it and donate it as soon as possible. Good morning. I just went to the thrift store to drop off my declutter donation and my backseat is clear again, which feels so good. As crappy as it is to like have to go through all your stuff, seriously, the feeling of letting it all go is so good. You're gonna feel so much lighter. You're gonna feel like, all right, clean slate, you know? And sometimes that's one of the best feelings, is just to feel like you've got an even playing field to go from. One tip I have for you is actually my local thrift store was also, when I dropped off my clothes, they were also looking for plastic bags because they use them for their shoppers. So instead of, you know, trying to deal with them, I do have reusable bags that I will bring to the store. Sometimes I forget and then I end up with plastic bags. And most grocery stores now give you recycling containers for them, which is what I do. But when I was dropping off the clothes, the guy was like, oh, hey, I see you have a bunch of plastic bags there. If you're interested, we recycle them and use them for our customers. Do you want them? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, please take them. So just a little side note, always recycle your plastic bags some way or another. But yeah, I just dropped off all that stuff and now I feel good. And now I have to go to work. I hope you enjoyed this video on ideas and tips and strategies to declutter your home for spring. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you would like some more videos and information on being organized and productive and getting to your goals, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the videos that I will share talking all about those things. I'm trying to have 1,000 people join our community here in 2020. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to join us. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will see you in the next video on Wednesday. Have a great day.